Thanks for joining me for spiritual wellness today. I am Allison Miller, and today we're going to work with an energy that we call langhana. And when we look at energy in the body, we're looking at bringing in more of a langhana, a brahmana, or a samana. And, samana, of course, is a great place to be. This is that kind of super balanced place. Samana, it's not too high, not too low, not too energized, not too calm. Samana. What we're going to bring in today, though, is langhana. Langhana being the calming, kind of grounding, relaxing type of energy. The opposite of brahmana, which is going to be that kind of nourishing, energizing, kind of wake you up. If you're feeling really tired and want to wake up, this might not be the best practice for you. But if you just want a nice kind of calming, grounding practice, then this will be perfect for you. We're not even going to stand up today. We're going to keep our practice a little bit closer to our mat. We're going to get close to standing, but we're not quite going to stand. And we will hopefully find just a little bit more calm and a little bit more peace by the end. So go ahead and take a comfortable seat to get started today. Any props that you might need, probably just maybe a couple yoga blocks, but may or may not need those today either. Something to sit on. And bring awareness to breath here. It's nice to find a seat where the knees can be a little bit lower than the hips. So if you're finding that you are sitting a bit like this, right? A lot of people as we come into cross-legged seat are going to have knees pretty high. It's good to take a little bit more height and put it under your bottom so that your knees are going to get to be a little bit lower than your hips. And so just grab more blankets or pillows. And you'll feel more comfortable in your seat if you take a time to do that. So starting to tune into the breath here. Just noticing what's present naturally today. What did you arrive at your mat with? Is the breath a little bit more short? More shallow? Or would you say there's a bit of smoothness, a bit of depth within the breath? Throughout our practice today, we're going to be looking for the breath to be a little bit longer, smoother, and deeper. Continuing just to monitor that breath in and out. Seeing if the inhale or the exhale is longer in length at this point in the practice. When we're working with the langhana energy, we want the exhales to start getting a little bit longer. The exhale is what's going to help to bring in more of this langhana effect. So just in practice here, start to see that the exhales are getting a bit longer than the inhales. You can count this out, or you can just kind of monitor that the exhale feels a little longer than the inhale. And a nice count just to kind of ease into counting our breath would be a 4 count in, maybe a 6 count out. So just starting to take 4 count inhales, 6 count exhales. And if you feel like you have a little more capacity to stretch out the exhale, you could even go to an 8-count exhale for a few rounds here. So 4 counts in, 8 counts out. All right, so start to just take a few warm-ups. Go ahead and take the arms out and up as you breathe in. As you exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, draw the elbows down. So on the inhale, lift the gaze, reach the arms high. As you exhale, draw the elbows down, squeeze the shoulder blades in, take the chin towards the chest. So we're getting a little work into the neck and the spine while also just working range of motion with the arms. I'm going to take about 3-4 more, see if you can add in that longer exhale. And whenever we're breathing with ratios, with numbers, make sure you're not getting short of breath. So being very conscious just to take some normal breaths. If it starts to feel as though you're getting a little lightheaded or short of breath at all, you never want to leave the body feeling like it needs more oxygen. We always want to provide just enough. So these breath ratios are just a guideline. You kind of fall in a place that feels good to you today. All right, as you exhale, this time go ahead and take the arms down. Take a moment to pause. All right, take just a little twisting action if you want to kind of recross your legs so that the opposite one is on top at this point. That might be nice. I am dog sitting today, so got my mom's 3-pound Yorkie here, Pookie, little lap dog. Let's go ahead and inhale. Arms up one more time, just kind of reaching up. Just stretch out. We want to make a little space for breath here. Stretch those muscles between the ribs, the intercostal muscles. So as you breathe in, doing a little stretch as you breathe out, just softening down, pulling the navel in. Exhale down. All right, roll out the shoulders. We're going to get to that twist. Okay. So next, inhale, take just the right arm up. As you exhale, you're going to take the right arm down and turn the head left. Now as you inhale, bring the left arm up and bring your gaze back to center. As you exhale, turn your head right, arm comes down. As you inhale, right arm up. And gaze back to center, and then as you exhale, right arm goes down, turn your head to the left. Inhale, gaze to center, left arm up. Exhale, turn the head to the right, arm goes down. Let's just do one more to each side. So right arm up, take the gaze to center. Exhale down. Take the gaze left. Inhale, arm up, left arm up, gaze to center. Exhale, turn the head right, arm goes down. Inhale, turn the head to center. So a little kind of twist, light twist for the neck. Just turn the head side to side a couple times. Maybe a little kind of dip of the ear to the shoulder each way a couple times. Just feeling into the neck today. All right. Let's come around to all fours. You want to pad under the knees with a blanket. You're always welcome to do that. And you're doing good there. Keeps that. Okay, I'm going to line up in all fours. We're going to do a krama practice now. So instead of going all the way back, so we're here in tabletop position. And instead of going all the way back to child's pose, we're going to break it up into 3 kind of steps. And we're going to do that along with the breath. So on our inhale, we'll be coming up to the tabletop. As you exhale, take yourself about 1/3 of the way back into child's pose. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Exhale again, go about 1/3 of the way this time. Inhale back to tabletop. This next time, go about 2/3 of the way. And one more time, we'll go 2/3 of the way back to child's pose. Keep the movement and the breath tied together and move at your pace. So we'll inhale tabletop. This time we can go all the way back towards your child's pose. You don't have to get all the way down, but just your kind of version, and then inhale up. And now exhale back. All right, a couple more times, and let's add in just a little awareness on the breath. So we'll take the 4-count inhale to tabletop. Make it about a 6-count exhale back to the child's pose. A couple more times here, 4 counts in, 6 counts out. 4, 3, 2, 1 on the in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on the out. Let's do one more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, land in child's pose. If the forehead doesn't quite make it to the mat, you might grab a block and slide it in. Take just a couple breaths here in child's. All right, and then we'll inhale and come on up. Just bring our right foot forward rather. So you can use your blocks if you like, just to kind of get your hands up, make a little more space for your knee. We're going to bring the right foot forward. Try to see that the right ankle is pretty much under the right knee. I'm stacking the bones there. And then you can bring both hands to the knee. However, if that's too hard on your back knee, which sometimes it is, go ahead and keep fingertips at the blocks for this. So what we're going to do is inhale, we're sinking the hips forward. Exhale, I'm just going to go back enough that my left hip is kind of stacked over the knee. Inhale, I'm going to sink into the lunge, let the hips go forward. Exhale, come back. Couple more times here. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale. All right, next time you're in the inhale, we're going to hold for about 4 breaths. You can just keep the fingertips, blocks, or knees. We're not going to take the arms too high because for langhana, we want to just keep the energy a little closer to the ground here. So I'm going to take my arms out to about shoulder height though today. Palms facing up. Again, the hands at the knees, just fine. Make the breath the focus. Worry less about the kind of difficulty of the asana and let the breath be your focus. All right, next exhale, I'm gonna put my fingertips back down to the floor or the blocks and slide my hips back for a half split. You can walk your blocks back so they're right underneath your shoulders if you like. We're gonna take just a couple breaths here. Try to make nice, smooth, steady breaths. Audible exhales can be really good here too, just for kind of tapping into the vagus nerve. It's almost like pressing into the vagus nerve to take a nice little sigh on your exhale. And when we tap into the vagus nerve, it just sends all these wonderful messages of relaxation around the body. Really turns the nervous system towards parasympathetic, which is, a little better spot to be than the sympathetic. We need the sympathetic too, of course, but we just don't want to be there all the time. Go ahead and inhale, come forward. Exhale, straighten the right leg, hop the back foot in just a tiny bit. We're going to take Parsvottanasana. So I'm straightening the right leg, I'm lifting the left knee too. And not a full Parsvottanasana, I'm just kind of leaving my back heel up off of the mat, but this is where the blocks might be the best for many of you. Just to lift the floor up to the hands a little bit and make some comfort for the spine. And see if you can just track the right hip back just a little bit, flatten out the sacrum. Each inhale, just lifting a little. On your exhale, you might sink in a little. All right, go ahead and lower the back knee. And take the right leg back to meet the left. Let's just take an inhale here in tabletop, and then exhale your way back to child's pose. Take just a moment to notice a little bit of different sensations in the right and the left hip. All right, on an inhale, come on up, and we're going to now take the left foot forward between the hands, between the blocks if you're using them. And just get lined up, left heel, left ankle, underneath the left knee. Fingertips can stay on the blocks if this puts too much pressure on your back knee. Otherwise, hands up to the left knee if it feels okay. On our inhale, we're going to let the hips come forward, and on the exhale, we're going to go back. So inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale. Not doing a whole lot of standing poses today. They can be long enough, but we're just trying to keep it pretty chill. So opening up the body nice and gently, just bringing in a little bit of langhana, a little calming energy. Always remember to honor your body and only do the asanas that feel best. All right, next time we're in the inhale position, we can hold it. You can keep fingertips to blocks, to the knee, or you can take the arms out to about shoulder height with the palms up. Choose the variation that allows you to feel as though you've got good control of the breath. So breathing in through the nose and out. Maybe that audible sigh on the out. We're going to take about 3 more breaths here in the pose. All right, next exhale. So take your inhale, and then as you exhale, go ahead and straighten that left leg any amount and try to keep the spine long here. So that's why sometimes walking the blocks back is going to be good, because I prefer you're not like rounding over. Try to keep the spine long, and sometimes having the hands on blocks just helps with that. So each inhale, finding a little bit of length in the spine. Each exhale, sinking into the half split. A nice stretch along the back of the left leg, keeping the toes kind of pointing up We'll just keep the stretch more in the back of the leg. All right, let's inhale and come forward. Walk the blocks forward. Take your exhale, and then on your inhale, lift that right knee up, straighten out both legs. Little Parsva up here, but pose variation, where we're not going to really try to get that back heel down. We're just going to have the legs in a triangle shape, have the arms, hands down. If you need, in order to keep the spine long, to use a block under each hand, please do. Paper towel rolls work really well as blocks too if you're not able to get a hold of yoga blocks. All right, next exhale, we'll lower the right knee. Take the left knee back to meet it. And then we're just going to have a moment to pause. You can take child's pose again, or you can slide a block in underneath your sit bones and take hero's pose for a couple breaths. Just a moment to pause. Notice how your energy may have shifted, how things are feeling now. Perfect. All right, go ahead and come off of your block. Or come up to tabletop if you went to child's. We're just going to lie on our backs now. So go ahead and lie down on your back. And as you come on down to your back, just go ahead and take a few breaths in constructive rest pose. Feet on the ground. You can let the feet be wider than the hips and let the knees drop together. And just maybe notice the sacrum. It's nice to do a couple little movements. Maybe let the knees just kind of rock side to side, little sway of the knees to just let the sacrum get massaged into the mat, the sacrum being that kind of triangular shaped plate at the bottom of the spine that connects into the hips. It's nice to just give that a little love. Laying on your back each day is really just a wonderful, laying on your back on the ground is a wonderful way just to keep the spine aligned and healthy. All right, so go ahead and draw your knees towards your chest for me. And as we inhale, we're going to push the knees away. I just kind of have my hands resting on top of my knees here. As I exhale, I'm going to turn my head to the right as I bring my knees towards my chest. And inhale, knees go away, head comes back to center. Exhale, turn the head left, draw the knees in toward the chest. Inhale, knees away, take the gaze to center. Exhale, turn the head right, draw the knees toward the chest. Inhale, head to center, knees away. All right, so just keep it going here with your pace for a few more rounds, just turning the head opposite side as the knees come in. Each inhale, they go away from the body. Try to tune in and notice that that exhale is still maybe just a little longer than the in. All right, let's just do one more, kind of finish up. As you inhale, press the knees away. Set the feet back on the mat. Take the arms out into a T. And you can let the feet be wider than the hips again. Knees fall together. couple breaths just to notice. And then let the knees fall gently to the right as you inhale, bring them up. As you exhale, let them fall to the left. As you inhale, bring the knees up. So this windshield wipering as we exhale, knees falling to one side or the other. And as you inhale up. Just a few more times here. Seeing if you can again find a little bit longer exhale, then inhale. And then bringing the knees up. Let's give the knees one more hug into the chest. And this can be more kind of static, no movement, just hugging the knees into the chest. Go ahead and release the legs long. Take a full body stretch. So stretch the arms. Stretch the legs. I'm just waking up too, I guess. Here comes the yawns. And then take Shavasana. You can prop. I generally like to recommend that you at least put a blanket under the head. If you have something handy, it's just a little coziness. And then if there's any low back issue, definitely please put a bolster or a pillow in underneath the knees. It's nice to have a little something under the knees. And the other option without a bolster or a pillow is that if the back body doesn't feel great, if the low back is sore in Shavasana, just bend the knees, put the feet on the floor. This kind of constructive rest pose instead of lying flat on your back is good. And starting to, again, notice breath. Trying to let the body relax. So you might just kind of notice if you're feeling any tension in the soles of the feet. Scan up and awareness to the ankles, to the calves, the shins, the lower legs. Softening any muscles around the knees, the upper legs relax. Softening into the glutes and the hips. Taking a moment just to pause and really feel how the breath is making the abdomen rise and fall. And now when the abdomen rises, there's a little bit more space for all those organs of digestion. And when it falls, when the belly falls, everything just kind of relaxes down. Bring awareness up to your chest. Feeling how the breath It's moving through the lungs. How the ribs are lifting and lowering. Just noticing the lungs. Are they inflating at an equal rate? The right and the left lobe, are they inflating and deflating equally, or is there a little disparity there? Just noticing, tuning into this real subtle aspect of breath. Softening along the collarbones, softening the neck. And the face relaxed, just noticing if you're holding any tension in the cheeks or the jaw. Noticing any tension across the forehead, temples, the brow. Letting the whole body relax and release a little bit more with each exhale. Noticing if the mind is just trying to rush you through this relaxation. Try to put that part of you aside just for a few more moments. That part of you that wants to go and do things that feels like it's, not a good use of your time to be still. Just remind that part of yourself that this is where we find balance. This is where we come to samana. Is that we're going and doing all the time, and now we need to take this time just to be a breathing body. That's how we will find more balance. All right, taking a nice deep breath in and audible exhale. On your side, go ahead and press up to a comfortable seat. And as you come to seated, use the cushion again if you like. Take a pause, take a moment just to notice. How does your energy feel? What does this space right around the heart feel today? I would end with a blessing. You may want to bring your hands together at your heart for this one. And there's a few different ways that you could do this. You can bring in the image of anyone that might just need a little bit of extra love, unconditional friendliness. Or you can choose to bring in someone that you're struggling with right now, someone that has been kind of difficult for you lately. You can bring in either one. We're just going to end with sending this blessing out to someone special. You can repeat after me. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be parted from freedom's true joy. May all beings dwell in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. The Dalai Lama says, everyone I meet is my friend. And this blessing is sort of playing into that notion that everyone can be our friend. We can have an unconditional friendliness and acceptance to all. I hope you all have an amazing day, night, week, whatever you have ahead. Thank you so much for joining me. You can take your chin towards your chest and bow forward, sealing in our practice. The light in me honors and salutes the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much.